I want to make and sell chocolate for Valentine's Day. Last week I tried making dark chocolate and, well, look at that. The chocolate's ruined. Failed. So this week I'm going to try milk chocolate. To make this, I'm going to use 40% cacao beans, 20% milk powder, and 40% sugar. Let's get started. Alrighty, so we've got 400 grams of cocoa beans. Now we just can't forget to... Last week I learned that you wanted to add the cocoa beans slowly to the melanger in batches and use a hairdryer to warm them up. This encourages the cocoa beans to release the cocoa butter. Alrighty, now we're going to add our 400 grams of sugar. Oh crap. Turns out I put it all in too fast, causing it to clump and install the motor. So I need to try it again, just pouring it in even more slowly, taking more time and just being patient with it. Alrighty, now we need to put in the last 200 grams of full cream milk powder and alrighty, so now all the ingredients are in, it's just time to leave it alone for the next couple days and cross our fingers. Hopefully it goes better this time than last week. So last night I added butter to the chocolate, and this is what it looks like now. A big clump. Huh. So I've added a lot of butter to the chocolate, and it looks a lot better right now. I mean, look at this. It's flowing really, really nicely, so I'm pretty happy with this. Now it's time to temper it. I think I might explode if I don't wash my hands. Fine, I'll try it, I'll risk it. Okay, so I just actually tested the temperature of the chocolate, and currently, look at that. So I just pulled it out of the melanger, testing the heat, and as you can see, we're at like 127 degrees. So technically, all that really needs to happen is to cool it down to 80 degrees and then heat it back up to like 90 degrees and we're good. So, cool. All right, so now while we're tempering, I have a temper time random ramble that I want to give up to you. I'm preparing for a marathon in June. And for part of my training, I'm running, obviously, but I'm running with a weighted vest. And my goal is just, let's just keep an even pace and let's just run for an hour and not stop. And so today I was running and I had 24 pounds on my vest. And this dude who's got to be late 40s kept passing me. Every time he passed me, I got a little bit more annoyed. Until finally, I was on my last lap. I was about halfway through. And the dude passed me again. And I was like, you know what? Not this time. And I just started sprinting. I was like, he's not passing me again. So I'm sprinting, and about midway through the lap, I pass him. And I go, haha, and I stay ahead of him. Except for there's a little crosswalk across the track to where the rest of the weights are. And this one doodad is, it looked like he was originally crossing that little pathway, but through the track, but he just stopped and was standing in the middle in the lane where I was in. And by the time I realized he wasn't gonna move, I was already at the point where if I didn't have the extra weight on, I would have been able to stop. But with it on, it was just gonna be wham, just smashed into him. So I watch out, he kind of just stops. And so I'm like, if far enough ahead, I should be able to just step around this guy in the middle of the lane. So I duck around and I slightly push the dude out of the way just because he was, yeah, it was a bad call. But we kept going, kept sprinting, and then I finished the lap ahead of the other guy. He did not pass me. It was a sweet victory. I wasn't perfect with my tempering. I got down to about 78 degrees instead of 81 degrees, and then up to about 92, 94 degrees instead of 91 degrees. But the tempering's done. So now we're gonna put it in the molds and wait a couple hours to see how it tastes. That was simple, but next time I'd actually heat the chocolate up a little bit more, just so it was a little bit more runny and easier to pour in the molds. Now they just need to harden, and then we'll give them a taste test. Alrighty, so I just got back from the gym, and the chocolates have set for a few hours, so let's go ahead and try them and see how they taste. So the chocolates, feel-wise, like, other than just me smushing it, they look actually kind of good. There's a hint of the butter to it. That's not a bad chocolate. It's not my favorite, but for a second attempt, you know, this actually isn't bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little presentation plate, take a picture of it for social media. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I prefer it without the buttery taste, but now we know that next time I just need to use cocoa butter. So I need to add cocoa butter to my recipe. Oh gosh, I gotta make it perfect. I hate details, but I need to be good at them. I'm just OCD enough that non-perfection bugs me, but lazy enough to hate, what's it called? Working for the details, but lazy enough to hate focusing on the details. Alrighty. Okay, so we did that. I made these chocolates from cocoa beans. If you want to give your sweetheart fresh for your sweetheart chocolate for Valentine's Day, send me a DM. So we'll see if I get any hits and if I'm gonna be making any chocolate for anyone for Valentine's Day. Remember, life's better when it's sweet.